See you next week. Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. You're on.
A pleasant good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone all over the world, all the SOS family here and abroad. Welcome to Strictly Business. I'm your host, Mr. Bryan Barry, filling in for our host, Mr. Julian Rolax. So call up a friend, call up a family, call up a neighbor and tell them tune in to SOS Radio 95.9 FM right now because Strictly Business has begun. Today's program is going to be very interesting as always, but before we get started with the program, of course we have to thank our many great, wonderful sponsors that we have. First, let's start by thanking Easy Laundry and Dry Cleaning in Dutch Quarter, of course, where you can go and get your clothes cleaned and dry cleaned and washed by the professionals. They also do pickups and drop off. So give them a call today. That's Easy Laundry in Dutch Quarter. You can call them up at 721-580-7061. That is 721-580-7061. Also, we like to thank St. Martin Harbor Holding Company. Of course, by now you know where you can go and visit the Walter Plant Square. A great place to go hang out with friends, grab a drink, have some lunch, enjoy the great atmosphere there at the Walter Plant Square. St. Martin Harbor Holding and Company, we thank you very much for being on board with us. Also, we would like to thank our good friends at GEBE, our water and electricity company. We thank you very much, GB, for your support. Also, we have the many tiki huts all around the island. We have Irie Caribbean Tiki Hut in Cold Bay, right across the movies, where you can go, of course, and get a delicious lunch. They have a special every day for only $7, people. Yes, only $7. They, of course, have a lot of variety, beautiful, healthy, fresh juices that you can drink. And also they have some cold, delicious cold coconut water, healthy, that you can get there. Give them a call today at 721-522-6938. That is Irie Caribbean Tiki Hut in Cold Bay, right across the movies. Give them a call today at 721-522-6938 and go and get a delicious lunch special. Then we have Jerky's Tiki Hut on the Illage Road by Aki Supermarket, and also across is another Tiki Hut also by Beach Plaza Casinos. By the Tiki Hut, you can have delicious jerk chicken, some ribs, just amazing meal. Of course, there as well, you can get your healthy cold coconut water by Aki Supermarket on the Illage Road as well, and also in Cold Bay. We would also like to thank our good friends at La Dolce Vita Italian Restaurant in Port de Plaisance Casino, where you can go there for some great tasting Italian food and a nice dining experience. You can give them a call at 721-544-4311. That is La Dolce Vita Italian Restaurant in Port de Plaisance Princess Casino. Give them a call today at 721-544-4311. Let's also thank our good friends at your insurance company, Nagico Insurance, where for a variety of different reasons you can go visit Nagico Insurance and they would help you get secured. Thank you, Nagico, for being on board with us as well. Also, don't forget the video block located in the French Quarter, where if you're thinking movies, think video block. We have all the latest movies out on DVD. If you want them on USB, you can get that as well. We also have video games as well for you guys who are home for the summer. You want PS4 games, PS3 games, Xbox One games. Come and visit the video block in French Quarter today. The opening hours are from 5:30 to 9:30, Monday to Saturday. All right, or give us a call at 873325. And myself personally will be there to greet you with a smile and help you find whatever movie you may be looking for yourself or for a friend. You know, whether it's for the kids, for the summer, we have something that you'll be looking for. That's the video block in French Quarter. All right, I hope you're seated, you're relaxed. It's a beautiful rainy Sunday here in St. Martin today. Many showers of blessings. But before we get started, I would just like to, on behalf of myself, my family, also on the SOS family that are here today, we would like to say condolences to Mr. Julian Rolax and his family for the loss of his younger brother. You know, Mr. Alexander Marlin has gone to see the Father up above, you know, so may his soul rest in peace. Mr. Alexander Marlin, that's the younger brother of Mr. Julian Rolax. So condolences go out to Mr. Julian Rolax and his entire family as well. Also the friends, the close friends of the late deceased as well, you know, condolences to everyone in your time of bereavement. We know death happens to each family. None of us is exempt from that. You know, so my heart goes out to Mr. Julian Rolax. Wherever you are right now, my brother, be strong, stay strong, and you know that our prayers here at SOS Radio are always with you, my friend. Okay, today's program, we're going to touch about inflation versus deflation. You know, inflation plays a big part in our community and the entire world, you know, not only St. Martin. Most of us, sometimes we don't stop and think about it. But the value of the US dollar, of euro, whatever you want to look, of currency is always changing. You know, it swings up and down with the financial fortunes, of course, of the United States. Sometimes a dollar is worth more than others. And then sometimes it seems like a dollar is worth nearly nothing at all. The same dollar in your pocket, right? So the differences in the value of a dollar from one point to another are caused by inflation and also deflation. Let's look at inflation a bit. When a dollar buys less than you would expect it to, you know, sometimes you go to the supermarket. I can remember when I love my favorite drink, a Vitamalt. Vitamalt was $1. Now, if I take out $1, they have to ask me, where's the rest? It's $1.25. You know, when you go to the shop sometimes you buy a pate used to be 75 cents, $1 the most. Now you better take out $2 to get that same pate that you desired. So the value of your money is continually going down. Inflation is caused by a variety of factors, but most of them are related to interest and debt. Okay? Now, when the Federal Reserve Bank raises interest rates, it causes the dollar to inflate. There is more money in the system, so every dollar is worth just a little bit less. Now, while some people believe storing their cash home in the safe will keep it secure, the value of their money will likely decline over time due to inflation. That same $100 you have under the mattress, couple months from now, it's not worth the same. You know, the money just keeps losing its value. Now, the minimum wage, of course, has yet to increase to accommodate the recent inflation in St. Martin and around the world, which causes what? Lower income families to struggle. That's why you're out there and you're struggling. You have that same job maybe for 4 or 5 years. But when you go in a grocery store and you shop, maybe let's say you usually used to spend $300 on groceries and you had a full cart with all the goodies and stuff that you and the family want. Now you see yourself putting in an extra 100 or maybe 2 for the same amount of groceries that you used to buy before. That is due again to inflation. So if you're sitting there and you're scratching your head and you're thinking that it's only in St. Martin, think again. People around the world, people in the neighboring islands, each place, each country, each island is also complaining and asking the government to do something about it. But it's nothing that the government can do because even the government suffers from inflation. That's why you see they sit and they have meetings about raising the taxes because even they have bills to pay. And as you can see, around the world, taxes just keep increasing. That's how countries are being run today, you know. So that's the main reason. That's one of the main reasons you will see families, you will see parents right now having to work not one job, sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. and then they don't have time to spend with their family, with their children because of inflation. Again, it's a major factor. You know, father has to work 2 jobs, mother working 2 jobs. Who's home raising the children? You know, we'll go more into that, who's actually home raising the children. Okay, but inflation is a key factor right now that it's hampering our economy all over the world. Now, this is funny. The opposite to inflation is deflation. Sometimes when I go to sleep before I pray, when are we going to see deflation? Because every year, you know, I'm 35 years right now, and I don't recall a time we had deflation. Inflation is the only thing that you're seeing, but there's supposed to be a versus. Inflation versus deflation. Now, what is deflation? Deflation is the opposite, like I said. Deflation is the opposite of inflation. When there are fewer dollars to go around, every one of them is worth more in terms of real goods and property. Deflation comes about when interest rates are low and when the economy is performing better than the rest of the world. Deflation makes it cheaper to buy things in the store. You're waiting for that day, right? Deflation makes it cheaper to buy things in the store. When will you wake up one day and you go and you see that same Vitamal that now $1.25, they say, listen, no, it's only 75 cents now. When will that day come again? Because we see things just keep increasing. But when it's supposed to go down, it's silent. We don't hear anything because prices go up, but they don't want to go down, you know? But companies who sell their products overseas often, they suffer from that. So it's a slowdown in sales. People who have to export. So deflation right now is really, I wonder if it even exists. You understand? I'm sure you're shaking your head, you're agreeing with me because we can use a little relief. You know, we get many promises here in St. Martin as well where they're going to relieve us on certain factors. I mean, we see it sometimes, you know. Let's look at an example for the gas prices. It's not only here in St. Martin gas prices are high, but I mean where you are living, that's where you're concerned. I'm living here, so I am not concerned about what's happening in the US with the prices. In St. Martin, we want a relief. But the funny thing is when you see it increases by 10% or 10 cents or 20 cents. When it decreases by 3, 4, 5. And you're saying like, really? But of course we run to the tank and we fill up because we want that little relief as well. You know, but in all factors there's benefits. Because for people that work on the road like myself at times, sometimes I smile when the gas prices go up. Imagine that. I mean, you might say it's strange, but when gas prices go up, you have less people on the road. You know, so you can be productive and you can get things done. Because the people who really need to be on the road are going to be on the road. Because you have to work. So you're going to put gas in your vehicle. You're going to go do what you have to do. You're going to be very productive because there's less traffic, especially here in St. Martin. So sometimes I tend to smile and say, well, at least I could get things done this week without having to be in so much traffic. But then when the gas prices drop, you see it. Because the road is filled with vehicles, filled with cars, people are filling up because, listen, for that same $20 when you're getting a quarter tank, you're getting a half a tank now. You know, and you're smiling, you could put more gas. And when you have more gas in your vehicle, people tend to just want to drive all over the place. So you have more cars on the road, more traffic, and for people like me who work on the road, it's less productive. Because I have to be complaining about, but this person going left or they going right. I don't know. Sometimes you see them going wrong the roundabout. Like, there's no direction. People are all over the place. So sometimes you tend to wonder, you know, it benefits and then the not so good times with the gas prices. But that's all due to inflation again. Things go up and things go down. Now, let me give you this example because this touched home for me. I could recall when the euro was very high. This is going out to the small businesses out there. You know, I have a small business, the Video Block in French Quarter. When the euro was very high, I had to scratch my head. I had to say, wow, what am I going to do? Because people are not getting an increase in salary, but yet still I want my continued customers to keep coming back to the DVD store, purchasing movies and whatnot. So at that time when the euro was maybe 120, 125 versus the dollar, I came to a crossroad. I could remember saying, okay, instead of $3 for a movie, I had to charge, this is renting, I had to charge €3 to rent a movie. Now in dollars, that had to be like $3.50, $3.60. So now you had this cash flow issue where you always had to go and find change to give back to your customers, the 50 cents or the 40 cents, because you're now charging $3.60 instead of $3. So I did that for a couple months, and I was saying, wow, you know, this is really affecting me, because now I'm seeing less clients come in. Maybe, yes, the clients that do come, they have to pay more. They're paying $3.50, $3.60. Great for me. But in return, I'm not getting the quantity of clients that used to come because prices are high. So me being an entrepreneur, being a business person, I had to say, listen here, when prices go up, having a business, sometimes the owner of the business has to be the one to take the loss instead of the other way around. And sometimes it works in your benefit. The reason I'm saying that is, quickly I had to decide, okay, listen, instead of saying €3, I said, great, I'm going to say $3 for a movie, and in euros it will be less. So I was charging $3, but then they were paying €2.50. All of a sudden, the smile changed. The smile was on their face when they were getting back change and it were benefiting them. Because when they were paying in euros, it was less for them. They were paying €2.50 versus paying $3. So in that way, for me, it was benefiting as well, because I was getting more euros and I need euros to pay the bills. So it was working out well when I changed it in that benefit. So then I got more people to keep coming and purchasing and renting, because now they know that the video block wasn't charging them more. They were actually benefiting and charging them less. And that's the same mindset and concept that I kept running with until today. When things go up, I don't try to carry up the prices at the video block. I try to make the prices and even come up with more incentives for your customers. That's what's important, because you want that traffic to keep coming, and you want to increase that traffic as well. Because remember, in that person's pocket, most of the times the money that they're making hasn't increased. So for me, I wanted to just keep them still coming and returning, especially with the different incentives that I keep having at the video block. That's what the customers need today. The customers need a relief. They don't need an increase. But you tend to see wherever you go in the businesses, anytime prices go up, the supermarket, the stores, they put the burden over on the consumer, which is for me sometimes ridiculous. Because I'm going to say, man, I used to pay $1 for that water, and now I'm paying $1.25. Sometimes you drive all over looking for a better price. Imagine that, because the store you usually used to purchase from, the price has gone up. If that same store could say, okay, listen, I want quantity, I want to still keep my clientele, and I want to throw in some different incentives to make them shop and even shop more, that's what you should do. Instead of passing the increased prices on your consumer. Because remember, we all know the consumer, the money isn't going up, but the people still have to shop. So in that light, I'm pleading to businesses from now on, think about your consumer. Stop trying to put every little taxes in the prices, including, you see it on a daily basis. You see it all the time. And the purchasing power is becoming less and less again due to inflation. But business owners have to realize, when things were good, when things was gravy, those same customers that you had were coming to your store, making you millions, put it that way. So why not now turn the table and say, as a thank you, I know things are rough, I know things are hard right now, but I'm looking out for you, Once you can pay your rent, once you can pay your employees, keep the prices at a fair margin. Put it that way. Because I'm a type of consumer. I tell the Chinese straight up. I say, listen here, these peanuts I bought last week, look at the price. It was $3.60, or it was $2, and now you're telling me 25 cents more, and they blatantly, I'll tell you, they say, yes, prices went up, container, or whatever it is. But I say, come on, man. If that's what you're gonna do, don't tell me, okay, prices gone up, because your inventory, put it that way, the inventory that they had, sometimes it's not even sold out, because the inventory they got this week was for the old price. But because the new inventory come in for a new price, everything changed. Really? That is what they do before they actually sell out the products that they had from before. Just because the prices go up, everything else goes up. And that is very unfortunate. So we as consumers, we have to look out for these things. We want to be the ones benefiting at times, especially living here on the island, knowing that everything is going up, knowing right now it's political season, political time again. The things you may be hearing, of course, are going to be the youths. You're going to be hearing minimum wage, a bunch of, sometimes you tend to say empty promises. So before you just go out there and just vote, go out there and look at the manifesto really good of these political parties, both front side and Dutch side. Don't vote because it's your cousin. Don't vote because it's your friend. Really, let's look at the issues. Let's look at, we want things to be better. Let's hold them towards what they're saying and what they're promising us. And of course, don't vote with a handout. You're not looking for a handout. You're looking for a couple months from now, years from now, that your children are going to be living in a better society than we are right now. Funny thing is, the internet is very powerful. There's so many things that are going on. But the kids today, I wonder sometimes, are the parents failing the children? Are the children failing the parents? Which direction is it going? Because I see things today that just blows your mind. The types of videos, the type of trends, the type of things you see, the youths today are quickly following because there's no leadership. There's no leadership coming from home where it's supposed to be. There's no leadership coming from right there at their doorstep. And when they go out there, they get bombarded, they get flooded with so much negativity, so much wrongdoings, that they tend to they want to be in this in thing. But sometimes the in thing is so poisonous, it's so hazardous for them that they suffer. And they are sitting back, maybe they're on the blocks, maybe wherever, but they're sitting back and they're watching the leaders today. They're watching the politicians. They're watching the things they're promising, what they're going to do for our little country, St. Martin. And when they see empty promises, guess what? They tend to follow the wrongdoings of making that quick buck, that quick money. Because what? Guess what? Inflation affects everybody. Everybody. It affects the people that are going to work. It affects the children that are going to school, because the money their parents could have given them before, it becomes less. Can't give you 5, I'm going to give you 3. How much you need to catch a bus? It infects and affects. I keep saying infect, but actually it is it's infecting everybody. But the affection out there, that's the problem that we're going through right now. So today, inflation. It's a deadly disease. Put it that way. It's a deadly disease. It's killing us. So that's why, listen, if you have a business idea, run with your business. Try to make a profit versus working just for a wage. Try to better yourself, not just for you, but for your entire family. Things are not going to get better overnight. You have to work hard and you got to work smart. Okay? All right, so today is an amazing day again. And that's our program. Once again, condolences going out to my brother, Mr. Junior Rolox, and for the passing of his younger brother, Mr. Alexander Marlin. Our prayers are with you, Brother Rolox. And today I want to say, blessings be to each and every person out there. Remember, there is no wealth without health, as Mr. Junior Rolox says. All right, so remember, life is all about choices. So be careful what you choose and who you choose, because time waits on no one. Until next time, this is Strictly Business with your host, Mr. Bryan Barry. Take care.